Okay, so beginning. So I mean, what Zach said, Donut, basically roughly covers it up, but I might like throw a couple more points to that.
All right.
Apart from that, I probably
Really don't
should
be a dick.
just like not reiterate, but say hello, because I believe this might be the first time that we probably talk in voice chat. So hi, name's Matt. Gonna be hitting 30. As you might guess from my voice, not a native English speaker, but I'm trying to do my best. And if I say something that's not clear, or if I'm not eligible, not that's not the word I'm looking for. If I need to repeat something, feel free to say so. And yeah, I hope this will be a fun game, fun story we'll weave together. So to give a short rundown of what we talked about. Uh, Starting about the character from like not mechanical point, is that preferably don't go hyper specialization, like to avoid like putting plus 30 on level 2 on a skill, like to avoid breaking the game. Like no dedicated diplomancers, no dedicated crafters, because you're gonna have NPCs for that. And essentially, I don't plan on having PvP. And while like your party members might not like each other, the intention is that they are working together. And if you want to make a character that has like a evil alignment, that's possible, because there are evil alignment characters in the guild that we are a part of. But obviously, with the understanding that you are a member of this guild, and like working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, what Zach said, like don't his rundown pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, makes sense.
Told you.
Am I the only one who can't use my camera in this game? Or
No,
is
no,
that
it's
something on the GMs?
That's been taken off entirely.
It's a shame.
Alright.
Oh yeah, I looked at
How do you
the
feel?
settings and I don't see it. I'm guessing they changing that, or maybe just they disabled
I
this
think that
completely.
would be I don't know if it's. I think it might be due to the age of this table, honestly.
There might be some settings
And we
if you
did
like.
kind of start, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago?
That it will be probably 6 years ago.
There might be a setting if you like go out of here and like change, look at the setting of the entire thing, but other than that, I don't know.
Just out of curiosity, on the mechanics front, are we using background skills or are we not?
We are.
I believe,
Okay.
yeah, I believe I was asked that question, and yeah, we are using. And
Cool, I will put
probably
that on
didn't
my
write
sheet.
that down. Yeah, I didn't. Shit. Okay, so I need to. Background skills are okay.
Okay.
I should probably also write down the Eternal Wanderer's feat.
I mean the Eternal Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like a template, I guess. This is like the Eternal template, but slightly altered. Like provide other things. I mean, I think we can start from like starting discussing about your characters, I guess. Even if you don't have like everything prepared, like to have like get a feeling of what you are planning on doing, because Last time I heard like that, Dana, there was this idea that you were planning on going for like almost like a goblin party, like goblin slash hobgoblin. And while
Mhm.
it's like this might be the decision of the players, but I did ask like, do you honestly believe like in your hearts that this idea
Mhm.
would work? And I don't think I heard yes. So
No, I
Yeah,
Clearly,
said no.
yeah. I think I remember hearing about that after like that had all been
Yes.
discussed. I vaguely remember people going, "Yeah, that we decided that wasn't going to work."
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know that Simon, from what I'm seeing, that he and what he was talking about, he is playing Tengu, the Tengu zoologist or beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking something along the lines of a Monster Hunter esque Beastmaster, where he uses his harvest parts speeds to kind of utilize different parts of the monsters they'll fight to kind of integrate them into his armor to make them stronger, tougher, or
Better.
basically better.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's a nice feat you found, though.
Am I the only one who hasn't been like playing Monster Hunter World as of recent?
I haven't played it either, but it sounds
Well,
like a
I
lot of
haven't
people's
played
having
it.
a good time.
I know of the game.
Oh, no.
I didn't have a chance to play it. I didn't like
I don't-
load it.
I don't know anyone that's playing Monster Hunter right this second.
Zach.
You know what I mean.
Academias.
Totally didn't just murder the fuck out of a great Jagras in less than a minute.
Uh-huh.
Definitely not.
See, Tengu. Should probably write
I'm
down
also,
the
like,
rest
seeing-
of the letter.
Who is playing Zilol Zaid?
That'd be me.
Okay, I'm looking at the character picture. What race are you playing?
Skinwalker.
Oh, right.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was a race that got my attention.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah,
well,
I could
werebore.
upload my. Let me upload my picture. Actually, I forgot about that.
I
I'm trying to find. a
do
picture.
know what I'm playing. I'm
Mhm.
making an. I am basically making an orc knight. He's not a good guy. It's basically a Hell Knight.
Eee.
Okay. Oh, and
Um,
Sinful, I remember. Sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
I was to say, like, my fighting style is going to be sword and board and running around and just hitting people and making them not very happy.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask because I remember you mentioned, Sinful mentioned like something about like barbarian flesh eater, or was it flesh crafter, or you picked
Nah.
vivisectionist, so I guess that's something else.
Yeah, it's a alchemist subtype
No. Okay,
or R type.
all right.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get that to work, so I was like, you know what? Backup plan.
Mhm.
And that's cool. To be fair, as I said, the previous game, I didn't exactly keep track about like various stuff. And even if this is like an alchemist, I probably might still like many of those things you'll be picking might be new to me.
My friend, it's hard enough. It's hard enough keeping track of your own character sheet. You shouldn't have to be going through others' character sheets. Hmm.
Yeah, it's probably the case. As I'm saying,
Mhm.
at least from what is written, so it's like Cheryuk is neutral good. Zero for now is chaotic neutral. Zixos.
I'll be lawful evil.
Zixos is true neutral. And Zixos is a
No,
goblin who?
no, I'm neutral good. I'm not sure why you said true neutral.
No, because I did. Oh, okay. Because I saw only neutral and I didn't like push the thing. And
Yes.
Harbinger is a archetype for some class, or is it as a separate class altogether?
It's a class from Path of War. It's either that or Mystic, but most likely Harbinger.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so neutral good. Zach is lawful evil. And an idea on which side of the alignment you might be Donut?
It very much depends on what route I go down with the character. I know I discussed with Zach an idea, or at least he presented an idea that I latched onto for some goddamn reason.
I meant as a joke mostly.
Yeah, but
No, it's fine. I just like ask out of curiosity.
other than that, probably lawful good. That's probably the one I'm going to be going with.
All right, that will be. Yeah, that will definitely make for an interesting interactions between lawful good and lawful evil.
Yeah, it's lawful evil, but it's more focused on the fighting chaos aspect than the.
Yeah, I know.
Being
like,
an asshole part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never like a huge big fan of like Planeswalker, but I do remember like in Sigil, the main axis of conflict is not between good and evil, but between chaos and order. If I remember correctly, I might have mixed it up. So I guess would be like a fair assessment. So for now, I mean, Alchemist would count like slightly towards like magical side or not really? Because I wanted to say like initially like this party might like going more towards like martial stuff, but
He's a marshal.
Yes.
yeah, okay.
So it's mostly martials apparently.
Yeah, but I also have the option of being slightly a spellcaster.
Well, you do buffs, and they're mostly self buffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
that's cool. Okay, are there like right this moment, are there any like specific questions for me? Are you like wondering about something, and do you need me to like throw additional information or just like start a discussion about something to conduct a brainstorm?
Not right now.
I mean, if anything, I'd recommend asking everyone to have one connection with another player, like their character knows another character in at least one way. It's a way of tying the group together.
We can do with that because that's one option. Another one I was thinking, because yeah, that was also my idea, that we won't be doing the you meet together in a tavern thing, because considering you are part of the guild. So yeah, that's one possibility, that you have a connection to like one other person. Another possibility is that that we can say that when you are going on this expedition, you have already traveled for a little bit as a party. So kind of like this, basically this small adventure that you had that propelled you from level 1 to level 2 was this like thing you were like grouped together for the first time. So that's also an option that we might consider.
Well, I know the crazy kind of joking plan was that me and Donut's characters were half siblings. Because he's playing a half orc and I'm playing an orc.
Yeah.
Well, would you guys be willing to run with that, or? Do you have any other thing?
Yeah, sure.
I have no issue with that.
I'm fully up for it if Zach is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how exactly do you two know each other? Like, obviously you're half siblings, that's one way, but like, what kind of relation do you have as half siblings? Mm-hmm.
See, if he's going lawful good, then we definitely have things we agree on and things we don't.
Yeah,
So, like, we probably agree on like goals, just not methods. I'd say.
yeah, that's definitely the big thing that comes to mind. We both sort of have that we both have the same goals in mind, but we disagree when it comes to the methods, as was said.
Yeah, there might
So
be
you're
like
like a bit,
go ahead, Julius.
so you're like a vitrolic friends, basically, or are you like respectfully disagreeing? What do you think would be more fun? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Donut, Zach, what do you think?
My first thought when it comes to that is just orc. Therefore, it would probably be a little bit louder.
Uh-huh.
Might be some fists involved. Like,
Yeah.
I'd imagine like so. With most people, like our character, I don't have a name for him quite yet, but it'll be Orky. Like for the most part, is going to be like not like a nice guy, obviously, but like the honorable knight, civil kind of thing. And then like with his brother, he'll go back like if they get in like a fight, he'll be yelling at him in Orcish. There might be like fists involved, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not like full on PvP, but orc fight.
Yeah, a little bit
Like
of brawling,
punching-
but not like
Punching him in the back of the head, sort of thing.
Well, like actually punching him, but like not like trying to stab him with my sword, kind of PvP.
All right.
yeah, it'd be just like brawling as opposed to trying to full out kill each other.
Yeah, that would be fun, and I kind of can imagine that basically the difference in character might come from upbringing, because if Zach's character is like a full orc, maybe it was like more rough and maybe slightly ruthless, and maybe in case of Donut's character it was not as bad because of like mixed background.
Well,
Yeah,
depending on if he grew up with humans or grew up with the orc clan, I know in Pathfinder lore, half orcs are actually like well respected in orc clans because they're smart. Like
Alright.
they usually end up becoming like the shamans and stuff, which they don't have to be, obviously, but
I mean, that's an option. I do not have like the set in stone lore about the background races because I don't want to limit options for player characters, and I think it should work in a way that we come up with the most interesting idea for the players. So if it comes from the story, we might say that there are some clans that are like, savage, ruthless barbarians. There might be clans that are maybe not as civilized, but they have their own like code of honor and like rules for living. Or we might like, have clans that mostly go with like Pathfinder lore. So yeah, for example, half orcs are treated with respect, at least in like the orc clans.
yeah. Yeah, I'll have to give it a think whether or not it was raised by humans or raised by orcs. I think being raised by humans would make the most sense, as he'd adopt. As I'm getting the impression that he'd be more adopting their quote unquote morality. But then we'd need to think for a reason as to how the two met later on in life.
I mean, I think that raises some interesting questions. Like, if you're raised by humans and he was raised by orcs, how did you two meet?
Yeah, that was
that's
also.
yeah, that's exactly the question that I just was thinking that
Yes, I
we're
know.
eventually going to answer.
Because I feel like there's a lot of fun things you can do with that questions.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the second question is, how did you two end up traveling together after you met?
Indeed.
Any idea, Zach?
No, none at all.
Well, in which case I'd recommend you guys think of something cool, because there's a lot of fun things I can imagine.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Well,
How
if
many
you come
points
up with
was
some...
it? Was it 8
Huh?
points to throw around?
Yeah,
that-
8 points.
Yes, 8
Okay.
points using the Starfinder method. And obviously, starting attributes cannot be higher than 16, cannot be lower than 8.
Yeah, yeah.
Before racial adjustments and all of that jazz. And then obviously, this is like the thing for like everybody when you are like thinking about like background and when did you guys meet. Obviously, like the guild, the Eternal Wanderers, is like a part of like background. So there's always a possibility that your paths have converged in that guild. And obviously, that will be like a separate question, like why and how did you ended up in that guild in the first place, and like why you were chosen to bear the gift, although some would say curse, but bear the gift of immortality through eternal soul.
All right.
Yeah, because one more
So?
thing, like Donut, and I will say that, and I will get back to you, Julius, in a moment. Essentially, while the concept of like sleeper agents, traitors, and whatnot would be interesting and could be fun, because of what you have, what you received, as I'm like, because the potential to cause havoc as an immortal is like so like very large. Obviously, those who oversee the process, the ritual to grant you immortality, you are vetted. So sadly, like the concept of like outright traitor or sleeper agent is like not really possible. But as I said, like evil characters, as long as it turns out that they can work, the goals align and whatnot, then they are fine. I mentioned like example the NPC that you might meet of assassin catfolk. That's evil alignment.
The very vaguest idea that I've got currently for my character wandering around is that he would have he could have got out to find his father at some point, which could then lead him to meeting Zach's character, due to, I would assume, being from the same tribe.
Yeah, searching for your roots and then returning to the
Yeah.
source, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
That I have nothing against that. How do you feel about that, Zach?
Makes sense, and that would explain why I'd go back. Like, this guy'd probably show up, kick a few asses, be like, "This is interesting," and let's go see what the hell he's doing.
That's a good beginning, but I feel like there should be a bit more to it.
It's a very basic outline currently.
Yeah. No. It's just thinking about ideas how it could go. Obviously.
I mean, don't worry. The night is still young. We don't have to come out with all the good ideas right this minute.
Write it down.
No.
Write it all down.
I still have
Get the camera.
2.5 hours, so
No,
we have
it's
time
just.
to go over stuff.
So yes, for why I'd join. What's the Eternal Wanderers like main motto again? Like their mission goal? Like what are they trying to do?
We have an infinite
Honestly-
amount of time. You have only one life. Go ahead.
Honestly, it like before. Now that I like think about it, like obviously they're in those couple like 300 years ago, and before that, like the like main goal was to like preserve the world as it was. But then when Asmarius came in, it essentially turned into basically exploring and dealing with potential intrusions from the other worlds, other planes of existence. Because as I wrote in like a small like basic plot synopsis, while the grand cosmic conflict rages on in other planes of existence, and there are other worlds that there are those in the guild that conduct planar shifting, and they are traveling to explore, to meet new races, new civilizations, to basically expand their influence and gather knowledge, gather artifacts, gather power. There's still some lands that were untouched, or they are not really controlled slash secured on your own world of purgatory that once was the prison for many different beings and apocalyptic artifacts. And it's not like they were all cleared out. There might be still some remaining. So
In short, if
so
they
it's
had a
basically
motto,
kinda. I'm not good with mottos, but like throwing.
it doesn't have to be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Throwing
Mhm.
like analogies from like other pop culture, like mass media creations, I would say they are might be like kinda like Shield from Marvel. On the other hand,
So protecting the world, basically, or
yeah, it might have like gotten to this point that yeah, in terms of like mission statement, it's like ensuring that this world doesn't blow up and it's not pillaged.
Reasonable.
eternal lives for an eternal world. Mhm.
The knights that I'm part of, it's the Blackthorn Knights. They're basically they're they are allied to hell, but they're not working for hell. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
So like, if a demon shows up and asks me for help, my oaths obligate me to help him. But like, the reverse is also actually true, hilariously. So like, if we come across not a demon, a devil, and he's kind of doing his own thing, I'd be like, hey you, help me.
Mhm.
But like their goal is fighting chaos, like I said. So like that I feel fits in with Eternal Wanderers well enough that I could be like considered like an attaché from the Knights to the Eternal Wanderers.
Sure, that could work. It might even be like an idea that the knights themselves. I mean, it's an option that maybe they didn't exist. Like they do not originate from this plane of existence, but when the Yggdrasil grow up and Purgatory has connected to the rest of the multiverse, like other planes of existence, like contact
I mean,
was reached and they.
if you want, you could also make it like a small group within the Eternal Wanderers or the group.
Yeah.
That's also an option. As I,
Which means that he has like a couple of like superiors or inferiors. That's not the right word. In the Eternal Wanderers, and that's why he joined. Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of inferiors compared to me.
Yes, that is correct.
yeah. Yeah, that
But
also could work because yeah, that mission statement for the Hell Knights would all, yeah, definitely work because the methods might differ, but nobody wants to be like erased from existence. So like ultimate chaos is just like return to nothingness. So yeah, like lawful, like providing like form. So
I think it makes a lot of sense having like Eternal Wanderers have like factions within them.
Yeah, obviously.
Because as you
They definitely grew up, not grew up, but they grown over the years, especially since like this big, huge battle, and like some of the secrets that were revealed, and yeah, calling them a guild. I mean, on one hand, that's they are a guild, but honestly, in like scope and size, you, as I said, like shield or maybe. Although I'm not sure if I would be going overboard with that, but maybe quasi, like like not like mercenary group, but like powerful and non-governmental organization or like something along United Nations thing. Not exactly, but like I'm.
So they're basically like a nation in themselves. Not in landmass, but in power.
In power and like potential numbers, and it could be like they gather up people, beings from all kinds of paths of life and different races.
It's not
so
entirely unreasonable because there have been organizations in our history that have had that kind of power.
And these guys have the secrets of immortality.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
For an easy example is the Catholic Church. Even today has
yeah,
like ridiculous kinds of soft power.
yeah. But sadly, I do not have a good idea for a motto, and I don't want to rip off XCOM just Vigilio Confido. Maybe I'll come up with something, but I'm really not good with mottos and whatnot.
Oh no! Don't worry too much about mottos. But
yeah, coming.
You can even have
Okay, go ahead.
like you can even have something simple like an immortal candle watching over the world or something like that. Like mottos are not important; they just sound cool.
Like basically the reason I said motto is just because like the mission statement kind of thing. Like what are they trying to do?
Yeah, it's like an easy way to like understand the organization, basically.
Yeah, come up with something. But yeah, but coming back to Hell Knight, yeah, the idea is completely fine, and yeah, I can see them like having a sub faction within the Wanderers themselves.
Yeah. Specifically, I will grab the page that is them and send it to you. It's a Path of War thing.
Because finding recruits is nice, but finding allies, other groups of similar interest, even if your methods differ, is also important and useful. All right.
And if I break my oath, they'll hunt me down and drag me down to hell. So, or they'll try. It's like technically it says they'll torture your soul forever, but you just know since we're eternal, they'll just torture me forever.
Like normal, this part be a pain, but thankfully you're immortal, so get fucked.
Okay, speaking of foes, I will throw you one thing. I mean, it might not be important because apart from the oath, I'm guessing Actually, I might throw this question to everybody, just out of curiosity, so I know if I need to like think about it more and prepare something. Would any of your characters like not? I mean, believe us in like revere a god or not? Not really.
No.
Probably not.
Not really.
Yep.
No.
Maybe if actually no, this character can't die. Never mind. So maybe if this character dies, I have to make another one. I might make a cleric or something. It's like, wait, we can't die. Never mind.
That's right. You can't switch characters anymore.
I mean, to be fair, I do recall there was like some discussion last time that in case like for whatever reason, in case you will feel that your character just doesn't work for whatever reason, that it will be possible to like I mean basically re-roll, remake a character.
And how do I say, a character can just walk away at any point, basically.
I mean, it's not like it's not like walking away from the guild. It's just that I mean we'll have to
From the party.
come up with something like walk away from the party, but that doesn't mean they would walk away from the guild and whatnot. They might have just like
Yeah.
go for other duties and
Yes, exactly. Like they walk away from the party, but they're hired somewhere else. Maybe we even see them in the background, but it just gives a reason in case we get really tired of the character. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
however I do have small. Obviously, you cannot account for every possibility, but I do hope that because we have these
Yes.
like preparatory sessions, we limit the risk of like making characters that will become tiresome or bothersome in the long run.
Yes. That's, but having the option there helps,
Yeah,
because otherwise you may end up stuck with a character that's just boring. And
obviously,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm always fine with
All
having
right.
options.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have the issue of the gods. What else? So for a moment, because we did touch upon like connections and who knows who in regards to Donuts and Zach's character, what about you, Julius? For example, do you think that you might have come in contact with someone? And also, just saying, we don't have to go like buddy teams. Like for example, like Donuts and Zach like met each other like in the at first, then maybe another character met them in the past, like to make some chronology.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. But for example, like Julius characters might have like met with some other character. It's like up to you. Just wanted to throw the focus a little bit for a moment to other players in regards to thinking about background.
All right, let me think about this. The short stick of my character is basically that they had this mentor that was like this super badass dude who died, and through his death, he ended up as part of the Eternal Wanderers, basically trying to live up to his mentor's legacy, because despite being woefully, inadequate, so to say, how do I say? The gimmick is that he's basically imitating his mentor, which allows me to be all sort of dramatic, even though I'm just doing normal stuff. The question is, would any of your characters have come across a goblin? How do I say? Acting like super tough and badass, despite walking, for example, in ragged robes, for example, or getting his ass handed to him and showing up a bit later. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cherrick would probably have seen him once or twice. Thought it was kind of amusing.
Uh-huh.
during his many studies on how to best dissect a beer.
Okay, I was worried you'd say a goblin, but all right.
Formidable fighter. Punt.
No, goblins make for poor armor.
Hey. All right. So, but that's not really a connection. That's just having seen you, for example. A
Yeah.
connection would be other characters meeting in some way or doing something together. Let's see. You're this investigator, this hunter of monsters and stuff like that.
Yes.
An easy way would be either of us saving the other one's quotation mark lives, for example, by like killing a monster and showing up, so to say. I could even be super dramatic and say he destroyed a monster with a branch in his hand instead of a proper sword, but no, that's silly. Hmm.
I mean, Chirkwood doesn't really care much for braggarts. But yeah, I'd say that they would have teamed up during their hunt for a particularly nasty monster.
I just thought of a funny one idea that you just find this goblin, like this is just before he made it to the Eternal Wanderer, like starved, fucking almost dying. You give him some food, and then he shows up later, and helps you out in a battle.
Oh my god, he's like the dog from Resident Evil 4.
Yes, that's literally what's happening here.
And as he shares his day-old bread, the goblin just looks out and as he sees a shining light behind the Tengu.
The goblin is like, by the honor of my dignity, worship, and eternal soul, I owe you my life, oh great nourisher, or something like that. And you're just like, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
And then he actually saved your life. Do you think something like that could be funny?
I'm gonna say that whilst I were being pinned down by the monsters, suddenly you kind of drop down a big stone from like a much higher position, as you kind of
No,
right
I think
it.
no. Let's say you're being pinned down. How do I say? You see this goblin pick up a branch, barely resembling a sword. Let me show you my true power, he says, channeling darkness into the sword. He stabs it straight into the monster, and the blade breaks. But the monster, so surprised by the attack, rears back. And well, let's just say we had to run really quickly that day. Do you think that could be funny? Mm-hmm.
It was that they. I mean, Tengus can't fly, can they?
I think they're wingless birds. I think that they're stick, but I might be wrong.
I think there's feats that you can get to fly, and there's actually a feat you can get to turn into a giant fucking bird.
Yeah, but they're both at level 5.
Yeah, at the basic racial traits, Tengu do not have fly speed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It was that time he cursed his inability to fly.
Yes, that's a good one. Well, at least we got some exercise, Mm-hmm.
I still think
But
I'm
yeah.
proficient in wielding sorcerers.
No, Zach. Just because there's an orc in sorcerer doesn't get you the ability to throw them around.
I'm proficient with any weapon with orc in its name.
Yes, Zach.
This orc sword and this orc hammer and this orc bulk.
And torches. Torches.
Oh my god.
Just grab any weapon and name it torches.
But yeah, as I said, would you be okay with that, Simon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I think the relationship would be something How would you design a relationship? You thinking me as dramatic over the top and stuff like that? Or
Most likely, sometimes an annoyance,
Mhm,
but after a while, he would kind of warm up to him, or
mhm.
maybe understand him a bit better.
Could work.
But yeah, as he finally starts to accept the his inability to calm down these sporadic and I'm gonna say flamboyant goblin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in my
Which
case, I'd be like, I owe you my. Oh, go
can
ahead.
be somewhat irritating when he's really focused on tracking a wild animal out in the forest.
Yes, something like that could work. And in my case, I'd be like, I owe you my life, oh great bird of the sky, or something like that. Mm-hmm.
That's the Wendy's.
Yeah. Something like that, as you helped him to the Eternal Wonders the first time. Anyway, I think that's a pretty funny connection. Is there anyone else that think you'd have a connection to a weird, flamboyant, excitable goblin? Hmm?
It might have been after I joined the. Well, if this is part of the organization, part of the Eternal Wanderers, then like once I joined the Eternal Wanderers, I was just reading what Matt typed up. Sorry. Like you could have seen my orc as a rival.
Yes, that sounds kind of great.
Specifically that wording.
Yes, and I kind of like the idea of me always like going into like a monologue about how great I am until you just literally attack me. No, not like attack me like because you're annoyed, but like you challenge. I challenge you to a duel. Start monologuing, and you just punt.
I picked up the Day Rider trait just because, but I love the flavor text of it. Orcs refuse to yield to any flow, including the sun. Some spend hour upon hour glaring at the sun until their ruined eyes acclimatize to bright light.
Oh, that's
God.
great.
Basically, instead of being dazzled in bright light, which would be -1 to attack rolls and -1 to sight-based perception checks, I get -2 to on all ranged attack rolls.
Yeah.
So my
Just stare at
perception
the
is,
fucking sun.
so I get my perception back, but I don't. But I am still slightly even worse at ranged attacks. I just took
Yeah.
that almost just because so I don't have to remember conditional.
Yes, understandable. So you like? I kind of like the idea of us being rivals. Honestly.
You think that we're rivals?
Yes, even better.
I'm just like, what the fuck is this goblin doing?
Half brother, why does this goblin keep following you around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
He's
would
been
be.
following you for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, that definitely
Uh-huh.
will be great.
Mhm.
However, I need to like interject for a moment. Sinful, are you there?
No, I died about 3 chapters ago.
No.
How the fuck am I speaking with you? I don't have Ouija. I mean, how do you pronounce that? Ouija board? Ouija
Yeah,
board?
I say, I have a Ouija board going.
It's like I can't just let him, leave, or he can't be late just because he's dead, you know. Gotta call him. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm basically
I'm holding a
questioning
seance.
because right now, obviously, we still like in the process of like hashing out the details. But right now, you are left as a odd man out. So I wanted to like focus a little bit on your character. If do you have like a potential idea? If you have any
kinda-
connection.
I have an idea.
What's that?
Simon tried to hunt you.
What is your character as?
I'm a skinwalker. Or better, more precisely, a wereboar.
Okay.
But that's your character. Who are you playing? Like that's the race, but exactly what else are you playing? Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, what do they do? And they're like,
pretty much think kind of like a werewolf, but instead of a wolf, was bitten by a boar.
Now, skinwalkers that is just their race.
Mhm.
It's not even like lycanthropy at that point. It's just what they are. But no, he's a living blender.
he's a living what? Sorry,
Blender,
living blunder.
blender. Like
Oh, blender.
you put
Yeah.
you put food in, chop it up. He's one
Yeah.
of those.
Okay.
I slice, I dice, I make julienne fries.
Oh dear.
The only thing I could come up with that would somewhat put my character into this is considering I'm a vivisectionist, which is pretty much I chop up bodies and learn things. I was thinking of since they had all got sent out as a group for the first thing, I was reluctantly sent to oversee them to make sure they didn't screw up their first mission. Pretty much, I got voluntold to watch over newcomers, make sure they don't mess up, and I wound up getting stuck being assigned with them, regardless of being happy about it. But it gets me out of the dank, dark catacombs in the morgue area. That's the best I can come up with off the top of my head.
So, who would you see yourself being connected to?
That I have no idea because you guys already have connections. Like,
We can have more connections. What kind of person in our party do you think your werewolf would connect with?
probably the Tengu because he probably tried, like Zach said, he probably tried to kill me the first time I changed.
Well, and then you being a vivisectionist, you guys might have even started working together because you like to chop up bodies, and so does he.
Yeah, you both have that mutual sort of interest in knowing about what it is that you're killing.
He likes the outsides, you like the insides. It works.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the innards. You take the outwards. We'll find a good medium in the middle.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like as a monster and making his stuff, he likes the bones and like the skin and like that kind of stuff, and like you like the organs and the like fleshy bits on the inside.
It's a mutual sort of agreement that he takes off all the like outer parts of whatever he kills and hands you the innards.
And if you try to take the hearts, I'll stab you.
So, Simon, do you think how would you see this relationship with this innards eater?
Sorry, you were saying?
How would you see this relationship with this innards eater? Like they were saying, he was going to be connected to you.
Sorry, I blanked for a minute. I was looking for other things. Could you repeat that?
All right. All right, Ask, can you repeat how you wanted this connection to be with Simon's character?
Pretty much is you like cutting up the skin and bones. I like the juicy bits inside.
I mean, as long as you leave the scales, like horns, bone, anything I ask for. I mean,
I'm talking about like the heart, lung, brain. You know, the squishy bits.
Yeah, the stuff that you wouldn't have use for if you were wanting to like.
if
make armor.
if I don't have any use for it, I would probably give it to you.
All right. So you also said that the first time you met, you think it would make sense for like Simon to hunt your character. How would you guys think that would go exactly?
Well, the best way I can think of is I'm out trying to find stuff in the nature that would work for what I'm trying to study. and I'm in my werewolf form. He tries to attack me like a bastard, thinking I'm a wild animal.
I would probably, if you were in a weird form, I would probably be using some form of pit trap or anything, something
You just
similar.
trap him in a pit trap. That's hilarious. Oh no, dude.
Oh, so you're
All
just
right.
trying to piss off my character.
He knows better than to. He knows better to fight a boar on even ground.
Uh-huh. So, would you say that you like threw some meat or something like that, and that guy's like, "Oh, nice, free meat," and just fell into a pit trap?
mean- Boars
It's-
don't eat meat.
Yeah, they do. They're
They
omnivores.
do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
They're just like pigs, they'll eat fucking anything.
Like pigs eat farmers if they like collapse in the pen. It's pretty bad. Mm-hmm. So, do you guys think that would be interesting? Trapping him in a pit trap, and how would it go after that exactly? How would you react to being tricked into falling into a pit trap? Somebody looking over, and what would you say, Simon?
I would probably scare the crap out of him, considering I would grow claws and start pulling myself out of the pit.
God.
Howard, who want to know who the hell's that trapped me? They better have a really good reason.
At that point, he would probably panic a bit and let loose a few, arrows with anesthetics.
All right. You have been tricked into falling into a pit trap, a humiliation to your honor, and now this guy's shooting you with arrows that are making you very sleepy. What do you do?
Well, if they actually land or effective, probably want to revert him back to the human form, and then he probably have a oh shit moment.
Oh shit! You're no animal. I can't skin you yet.
No, dude. Mm-hmm.
In that case, it
Mhm.
would probably bring him back to the Eternal Wanderers to kind of give him some aid or
Okay, back.
Mm-hmm.
to nurse him back to health.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point it would be more like waiting for him to wake up because of the immortal part, but yes. Uh-huh. So,
I mean, to be fair, some of these like events might be happening before you receive the gift. But
yes,
that's up to you.
understandable.
Either or could work
Alright.
because we could just say we were both technically on our way to it, and he brought me not knowing I was already gonna be part of the group.
Hey. Yeah, it could work. Mm-hmm. So you two then, how exactly did you guys end up in a working relationship after that? Mm-hmm. How did you end up being a whole, I take the outside, I take the inside from there? Mm-hmm.
It would probably be him trying to guilt trip Chirrut by reminding him how he kept attacking him and put him to sleep. And Chirrut, being too polite, would probably cave in every so often, and then give him something to have him stop reminding him of that mistake.
Yeah, pretty much as a recompense, he does the hunting and chopping. I take the rest to do research.
If we're gonna live it down, oh yeah, that sounds great, actually. Mm.
As an alternative,
Mhm.
why Cheryuk even encountered Zilol in the first place is that as they were on the way, he was like sidetracked because along the way maybe a village like a villager or two heard some rumors that there's like a weird, like animal, weird suspicious animal are seen around, and that like put them on
Oh,
impact course.
are you saying that that animal they heard was the animal me and Chirok later ended up fighting? Yeah.
I mean
Mm.
that's a possible option. Because no matter how the world is advancing, there might be still people who are just, I don't know, kind of ignorant or just like God fearing, or not God fearing, but like fearful. If they see something they do not understand, and they might